around the world and across Nigeria. If you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Now to our main conversation for this morning. Two people were killed on Tuesday in a bomb explosion at the International Market in Omona, Olu, Imo State, Nigeria. The blast has been attributed to hoodlums who detonated improvised explosive devices (IEDs).
It was a tragic event that also left several persons injured and caused businesses to close abruptly.
Imo State Police spokesperson Henry Okoye confirmed the incident and identified the two killed as among those responsible for the explosion.
In response, Commissioner of Police Aboki Danjuma deployed anti-bomb squads to the scene.
The Southeast region where Imo State is located has faced ongoing security challenges with frequent attacks on government facilities and security agencies, from arson to wanton kidnapping to outright robberies and assassinations.
Although the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has often been blamed for such violence, the separatist group consistently denies involvement.
IPOB is campaigning for an independent Biafran state encompassing parts of Nigeria's southeast and south-south region. The group claims its agitation is peaceful, despite accusations of violence and insecurity linked to its supporters.
Today, we'll try to take the broadest possible look at insecurity in the southeast and what exactly can be done to save the situation.
And also to have this conversation and talk to this more, we have in the studio with us Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, a barrister, law and public affairs analyst, and if possible, joining us virtually will be Charles Idogo. So he will be introduced whenever he joins us. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being part of the show.
Thank you, Barrister. Thank you, Barrister.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's have a conversation. Of course, Nigeria is a united country made of different regions, different ethnicities, different tribes. Together, we can only work when we, of course, are concerned about what happens in every region in the country. But speak to us, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. What do you think about the insecurity region in the southeast of Nigeria?
Well, I think it has become something that is abnormal and normal in our country today. And it's not only limited to that particular region, it's everywhere. The insecurity has been one of the major areas the government has not been able to tackle. Probably, I don't know, maybe because they don't have the political will, or probably they lack the necessary knowledge of how to deal with it. And we play politics with everything. That may not be also out of it. But it's been a very difficult issue all this while, whether in the north, whether in the south, or everywhere. Security has become a general problem to us. But in that southeast, I think fingers have been pointed at certain people or certain groups all this while, and I've just seen the effort of the government in trying to reach out to those groups or see how they can talk to them and or even the stakeholders in the southeast to be able to see how can we nip this in the bud, because it appears unlike the banditry and the Boko Haram issue, whereby you say you don't even know those who talk to those who are there. Here we have a not too clear. At least we have certain people who have been agitating, and we have people who have been taking responsibility for some of this insecurity. What are we doing to engage them? What are we doing to talk to them? It's not everything is not about fire. Sometimes we use this approach to at least find a way a solution to issues. After all, in other part of the country, similar solutions were adopted, whereby people who are alleged of committing a crime against humanity, Boko Haram, banditries and whatever, have been called to ranting. Some of them have been given amnesty, some of them have been released. So I don't see anything in there when you adopt a kinetic and non-kinetic approach in solving the matter. I think we need to go beyond the fire for fire or beyond the. I'm not even saying the fire for fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Exactly.
And those who are the other side who are trying to make the state ungovernable are the one prevailing, because they even have in a state where in some of the southeast today, Mondays I believe they don't say
The entirety of the southeast. Yeah.
and that if that were to be governed as government that declare that Monday as a day that people should not work, majority will not answer. They will say that we have to hit. Now it appears they expect the criminals in court
More than the government.
more than the government because the criminal seem to have a control and the government has no. Even the police, I'm not sure even the South, the police stations and other files also come to work.
Yeah, very true.
Very
Oh, yes,
true.
it's actually very true.
It's a sad situation.
Very true.
Where we're
Thank you so much,
All right.
Barrister Tunji. Chasideho, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us this morning. Now let's look at the story. We're looking at the Southeast, looking at what happened in the Southeast yesterday. I want to actually read out something. However, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been blamed for some deadly attacks in the Southeast, which has been plagued by insecurity for some years now. Can we categorically say that the IPOB are being pointed at why some persons on the ground are masterminding the insecurity and actually projecting it to this height, looking at the bomb blast at the market yesterday? Can you say it is politically intertwined at this point?
Okay, well, first let me say this, that what is happening at the south or in the southeast right now is very, very saddening. I happen to grow up partly in Igbo land. That's why I can speak about 30% Igbo. I understand Igbo. I have, as I always say on TV and radio, I have nephews who are, bearing Igbo names, though they are Edo. So Igbo land used to be my second home after Edo. So whatever is happening there now is quite painful because they raped that region. The region's innocence has been broken because of self-inflicted problem. Okay, it's a self-destruct mission that they said they are put upon. When all this agitation is good, when you want to make agitation, you want to soak in, you want self-governance and all that. There's nothing wrong with that, but when you now begin to lace it with violence, that's where the problem is. There's no way IPOB, the way it's running its show, can extricate itself except from whatever is happening, the violence happening in the southeast, because they know they also to come out clean of or to absolve themselves of the allegations. Everything that happens over there is now IPOB. That's why they have to come out, because whether they like it or not, IPOB has become a franchise for violence. IPOB has become a franchise for everything not good. IPOB has become a franchise for whoever wants to, mastermind violence in the southeast. All you need to do, just do it, and then hang it upon the neck of IPOB. And IPOB has not been able to do it, because all this sit at home. Oh, you must kill somewhere. Some ECPA will sit in Finland, be ordering people to sit there and told people are losing money, or kill them if they want to do. As I said, there's no way IPOB will go to extricate, even though it may not be IPOB that may have done this, but as I said, there's no way that group can ever purge itself of all these allegations, and it's quite bad. But again, where do we go from here? In Yoruba land, the southwest, I think about 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure Vladimir Tunji will remind us, you once had Sunday Igboho, who was also doing something that has a resemblance with what IPOB is doing about Odua Republic. I mean, what happened? The leaders of the Southwest, including their brothers across the border, this Semekboji and all that, they all came, they all came together. And today now you don't have Sunday Igboho, and that's how they were able to procure peace for the Southwest. So I also know that the Southeast, they have what they can do. The governors of the 5 Eastern, Southeastern states can come out, all the Ohanese Indigbo, and other Southeastern groups can come out to say we want peace in our region, because they are the ones suffering. First of all, who are the first victims are the Southeasterners. You understand? So whatever they are doing today is not happening to Lagos. Ibadan is not suffering it. Ilorin, where Abdulhamid comes from, is not suffering. Maido is not suffering it. It's the Southeast that is suffering it. The economic losses, the losses of life and all that, they are the primary victim of all this mayhem. So they have to do everything possible to ensure they procure peace at all costs.
All right, thank you so very much. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, let's take a look at this from another vantage point. If you take a look at the southeast of Nigeria, particularly where you have the gravity of this mayhem is in Imo State particularly, and the reason actually is tied to the grievance the people of Imo have at the time when Uzodinma was, of course, asked to lead the state after the court cases and all. Till today, the people are not happy. Unlike when you go to Abia State, it used to be worse before now in Abia, but since the coming of Uti, everything seemed to have died down to some level. Now, do you think the issue we have is not necessarily because the agitators are angry because of their desire for a separatist state, or is it built on the lack of leadership which is allegedly absent in Imo State?
The whole factors that I mentioned are all part of it. What should be considered? We all don't have any answer to all these questions. We're all just trying to look at it and say, oh, maybe probably a rumor, or by how do I put it again? We just we have suggestions on that. These are likely issues that, and you see, we're not far from to talk about politics. That politics is innate political interest. It will also not be. It will be incorrect to say it is because of also my alone. But that is also not. It's not also completely. I cannot also completely erase that particular aspect. But I say so because I cannot say because it was. It's or what's the name of it?
Hope.
Hope also.
Because this issue have been on grab even before his emergence as a governor. But you see, why I want to agree, I'm a bit confused, is that look, when you have a leader that's acceptable to the people, that may also reduce the tension. That's probably that's what's happening
In Abia State.
That's why it's being reduced, because people see the governor as their own.
Exactly.
In Imo, there's no doubt. People don't still believe, majority of them don't believe that this governor was voted for by them. But that was the first time. Another election has been conducted and he has won. And it wasn't at that time. This one was not the Supreme Court decision. The other one was based on Supreme Court decision. People are still worried that no, he is a Supreme Court judge. Notwithstanding, let's even admit and let's even concede that people are angry about the governor. Will this way be the solution to the problem? Will improvising and killing economic power of your people resolve the problem? That is the area I want people to look at it. If you people are those who are, well, we can't even ascertain that. I want to take it back, because I want to say that look, those people, you cannot be inflicting pains on your people. We don't know who are behind it, whether they're actually their people or they're somebody from elsewhere. We cannot tell. So we cannot come to a conclusion and say people who are doing this are people from the town or the same people from the south east. It may be somewhere else. We can't tell. So we cannot,
because Asari Dokubo actually has claimed that he has a mercenary group employed by Hope Uzodinma.
Now he just attempt to make money from government. When you know in this country, when you have a military group or people who have followers who can cost me here during election, those in government will like you and they will be able to pay you more money. He's trying to build his own a way of getting money from people who want to use them for political purposes. So if you have that power, mostly, and if you have things, anyway, it's not even that issue. If you have that ability, why can't you use it to solve the problem that I have on ground? But like I said, it's about government. People not accepting the reality on ground. The governor may also not be popular among the people. The federal level too, they have issues. Most people don't believe that the government at the federal is their own, and they don't believe that they're not being marginalized. But notwithstanding, these things we are saying is not a general comment. These are positions of few people. Because when you come out and say, when people say Yoruba say, I will ask them, which of Yoruba? When was Yoruba? When was the meeting held? They will say because Mbo said this. Because one Mr. Kinika who called himself a Afenifere leader said this. Does that mean the entire Yoruba has spoken? If you say IPOB or some person within the Southeast says something, that does not mean the entire South region are the ones speaking. But that's the work we have in this country today. When we speak about a particular issue, before we come from that particular area, that they will see it as position of everybody. I have one guy that he doesn't speak on TV already, doesn't like it. You know why? He said whenever I see anything, they will not say he say this. They will say somebody, because they know him is associated with somebody. They will say that is the position of that person. And that's why he hardly go to TV or radio to even talk. Even though notwithstanding the position where he is, that he should be everywhere talking. But he said, whenever I say anything, they will not see what I say as my own position or as the position, genuine position of what I'm saying. They will say, because it's affected the wrong person. That position that's thing. And that's what we have in this country today. When Mr. A, who's Sanusi, speaks, they will say the entire North. They will say the North has said no, we are not going to agree. Meanwhile, it was all just one few group or one person or few people came together and made those decisions and said the right job. So I think we need to talk. Those who are even causing the area need to talk to themselves as well. That these people that are solving this problem are not the people in government. These are ordinary Nigerians, ordinary members of the region that are solving it. Why can't we stop this and engage the government? And so that we're able to have peace in the land. Without peace, although some people are benefiting from this situation we're talking about, and that is the problem here. Political interest, monetary interest, economic interest. So it's not about the generality of the people, and that's why you are seeing what you are seeing today.
Okay,
For me,
thank you.
I think all the factors we have highlighted and come to that way. They have to be considered.
Thank you, Barrister Tunji. Charles Sideho, back to you. Looking at what is happening in the southeast, looking at the sitting governors and the Ohanaeze Ndigbo, they are supposed to, before now, come out, because if we should wait with the northern governors and how united they are, can we say the southeast governors are united? Do they have one mind? Because looking at what is happening in the southeast and your sitting governors, and we also have one who is also the deputy speaker in the assembly, but he's not saying anything about the happenings in the southeast, or they're coming together to actually profile a solution. Why would they be quiet at this time? And the southeast is experiencing this turmoil for years now.
Okay, when you look at the regions making up Nigeria, you see that southeast appears to be suffering in terms of lack of leadership. As I told you, I partly grew up in the southeast. This Republican nature of the southeast is not happy. I think it has expired. The philosophy of Igbo Nweleze philosophy is no longer helping Igbo, because you have to Nweze. What does it mean to Nweze? Nweze means you have to look at, you have to look up to someone for direction. You have to look up to someone for encouragement. You have to look up to someone for progress. You have to look up to someone that will rein you in. That's exactly what's happening. If you consider where Abdulhamid comes from, Ilorin or Kwara State in its entirety, I mean, you will agree with me, though he might, I don't know what side he belongs to, you might agree with that when Kwara used to have a single leader, people defer to, people look at, and the man
We see have a single leader.
That's Saraki.
We see have
Saraki used to be, say what's that?
We see have one single leader.
Well, I'm talking about
Just continue. I just want to correct that.
You can't compare the Oloye Saraki era and the Saraki of today, though is arguable. But so you saw Saraki was able to reign. Saraki was looking for everything that has to do with Kwara. Whether you were from this side of Kwara, every Kwaran at that time enjoyed the leadership of Saraki. That's that. If you go to Yoruba land, there used to be Awolowo was the leader of Yoruba land or Yoruba people. If you go to the north, they have these people they defer to. When the Sultan speaks, they listen. But who speaks in Igbo land that everybody will listen to? You see, if you in the open, in public, you may think Igbo, one day, honestly. But if you go to Igbo, I told you I've lived in Igbo land. If you go to Igbo land, you go over there, there will be Abia agenda, there will be Imo agenda, there will be Anambra agenda, there will be Enugu agenda. Each of these governors will not want to say, okay, this is our leader. We hope us that want to say, go and sit down there, you are a Supreme Court governor. This one want to speak, Anambra want to say, they say, go and sit down there, who are you? Even when you get to Abia, the Uba Kalaman will not want to defer to demand from Ungwa. The Ungwa man will not want to. So it's a problem that they have to. That's why, as I said, the philosophy of Igbo Nweleze had to be, for now, had to be thrown out of the window, because it's no longer serving the Igbo interest. Yeah. So they have to see way to come together, starting from their youth. Look at Nnamdi Kanu, for instance. I know what he's doing may not be proper, but you see how he's been able to command, he commanding respect of the youth and all that. I'm not saying that kind of leadership what I desire for the Igbo land. So I think it has come to an era, a point where the Igbo man will sit down to say, indeed, let's find a way to unite and have leadership. When he was there as the President General of the Ohanese, how many people were respecting what Wanyan would say? He was not there as a political governor general. Wanyan couldn't tell something to do and for them to listen. So I think the philosophers of Igbo had to be readjusted. They had to find a way to say, okay, let's have leadership. It may not be a single leader. It could be a collegiate leadership, where they have to come together and defer to those people so that they can have indeed that one voice that will speak for Igbo, so people will listen. All this issue of pockets of violence here and there might be a thing of the past if either they have a single leader or they have a collegiate leadership in Igbo land.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so very much. Mr. Tunji Abdulhamid, just for us to tie up and leave it at that. I'd love to use to speak to, of course, carry over from what Charles did say. Right now in the southeast region, it used to be a place where, just like he rightly said, people were independent in thought and in their actions and all. But at this point, people are beginning to navigate towards the voices that they think are giving them the right advices. Simon Ekpa is one of them, self-exiled in Finland and directing what happens in the southeast of Nigeria. How do you think the people can come together and decipher the difference between someone who is not giving them the best advice and them taking the right advice to ensuring there's peace in the land?
Yeah, I think Charles has already highlighted those areas. The lack of proper leadership in that region is a problem. I want to attribute to culture. With due respect, the culture in the Igbo land is not different. The same thing with the one in the south and in the north. In the south, in the south, in fact, they say that if you are seen as an elder, even if you are saying rubbish, people say that you don't correct elder. You don't even talk. But in the Igbo land, with due respect, I'm not sure that is the case.
Very true.
And it's not been like this even before the colonial. When the colonial came, they have a structure already in the southwest and in the southeast or whatever. There was no any already established structure that people can say, look, this is the way. These are the people in leadership, and that has been the problem. So as long as that cultural practice is still there, few people will take advantage of the people, and then want to monopolize them. You see, when this fight we are talking about, even if we are talking, let them admit, and let's even assume and not agree that it's about what's it called, agitation. This crisis that we are seeing. This agitation, is it a general agitation? Is it by the entire region? It's just I see it as a group of people just coming together to agitate, because even though people are supporting them because of our nature of sentiment, say from our area, this and that, I'm not aware majority. If that is true, most of the people in the region that are at National Assembly, those who are with the part of the government, will not be there. They will protest and say, look, we are not going to join because we are still not. But unfortunately, this is an idea of certain few people, and these people are not seeing it as a means of let's just use this to make money, make state ungovernable, and achieve what we want to achieve. Until one people comes together, until they have people they can respect as leader, that will talk to them and then they will respect and say, okay, because this man has said this, even though it's right or it's not right, we are going to follow it. But that is lacking. So until they have people they can call leader that they will respect, probably it may not happen. Unfortunately, everybody is about selfish interest, and politics has also come into it. Take it or leave it. Politics is inside it. Even the general insecurity we have in the country, people are saying that look, we have politics inside it. That we are not getting these results because people are playing politics with it, and people are making money from the insecurity that we are having here. In fact, some people even allege that those who are supposed to even kill the insecurity, permit me to use that one, are still part of those who are making it more compounding because of the benefit they are getting from it. So until we throw away all this personal sentiment and personal interest that we want to gain, we can't get it. If you listen to Kamala Harris yesterday, he said it's not about the loyalty in their own country. It's not to the presidents. It is to the nation. But in our own country, that's not the case. If you are not loyal to the president, if you are not loyal to the party, you are not doing well. So loyalty, as far as they are concerned in this country, our country, is not to the nation. It's to the president or the governor or to those in leadership. That is, and we can't get it right in that regard. So we need to have loyalty to the nation. See everybody as one. Those are the region to see people there as human being like them. And then look, this thing we are doing to them will not affect people who are fighting, if at all they are fighting with anybody. It will not affect them. And it is these people that are ordinary people that will say we are fighting for that will still be affected by what we are doing.
Thank you,
Alright.
Mr.
Yes,
President.
just before we wrap up, Charles Idibo, I think it's very important to ask this because we have a president who is the president of not just a particular region, but the president of the entire nation. Why does it look like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is oblivious of what's happening, if I would love to use that word, because of course it's not saying anything towards that direction. Do you think it's because he is not interested in that particular region? And what do you think he can do to at least attract the interest of that region, since of course we all belong to one country?
Okay, let me say this. Number one, we've been agitating for the strengthening of our institutions and the weakening of personalities. But you want to, through the back door, bring in the strengthening of the individual as against the strengthening of the institution by your question. Because if you're asking what Tinubu should do, it means that you want an individual to be strengthened. We should be talking about the strengthening of the institution. I mean, which he represents is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he's the Commander-in-Chief. He doesn't have to necessarily, personally, utter any word for it to be done. So are you saying if somebody's wife has not given birth, you have to wait for Tinubu to tell the doctor to do something? Is there no health? I don't know, health officials in the health institution? Oh, something's not happening. There has to be a way of strengthening our institutions. Why do I say so? As the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, you have the military is broken into regions. You have, I think, 82 divs in Enugu, which is responsible for the affairs of the Southeast. Then you also have pockets of all these military formations in all Igbo land. Do they have to wait for the president to say to make a pronouncement for them to do what they're supposed to do? Hasn't the Constitution or even the Martial Act that runs in the military, having all this, the acts giving them not martial arts, sorry, martial laws, the martial laws, and then the Constitution hasn't those laws giving them what to do, to mandate them to do something that whether you are having insurrection, you are having even internal strife and all that, the military is supposed to do. Do you have to wait for the president to do that? No, the answer is no. Okay, now, but the only thing I can say this is that the nature of the Igbo man, I feel sorry for the Igbo man, because since the war of the Nigerian Civil War, it seemed as if the Nigerian state has not forgiven Igbo. I tell you why. When the Igbo made to break away from Nigeria, we had about 3.5 years of war. Because at that time, Igbo, before the war, the Igbo man was everywhere. They were in custom, they were in the military, they were almost everywhere. So it seems as if the Nigerian state has not forgiven them, and the Nigerian state is afraid to give power to the Igbo man because of not anything, because of this agitation of IPOB and else. Because if you give power to the Igbo man today, will he not use that, to do a carving out of the Igbo country, out of the Nigerian state? So you see, now if you look at, I traced that when I had cause to discuss on TV, so I had to do a research on why you don't have functional seaports in the former eastern region, comprising River State, today River State, and Akwa Ibom and Cross River. Because before then, all these seaports, they were working. I mean, the Igbo man didn't have to come to Lagos to clear his goods. But during the war, those ports, history told us, or history tells us, is where they were, bringing the arms from. And so the government really had to shut down. Till today, the Igbo man in Enugu, in Ohafia, has to come to Lagos State to come and clear his goods. What happened to the One port, which is closer there? What happened to the Calabar port? What happened to all these ports over there that they could do? That's what I'm telling you, that it seems as if the Nigerian state has not forgiven. But again, how do we do it? is for the Igbo people to come out together. The agitation has to be effective. The agitation has to have a look of nationalism, not just for the sake of the Southeast and all that. Because when the Yoruba is fighting, you see that they fight for everybody. You understand? But then when it now comes to the center, they now begin to share what comes to Yoruba land and all that. They first of all fight for a Nigerian nation. When the APC and when you have the amalgamation of all the parties that came together, they were looking for a national outlook of leadership. When they got it, the Yoruba man suddenly now climb on top of the ladder. Now he's now fighting to get something from the center and brought to the region. But the Igbo might say no, it has to be boy. It's not going to work that way. You have to have a way to be part of the center for you to cut a slice of the cake from the center and take to your homeland. That's what I think it should be.
Thank you so much,
so very much for your time. Barrister, thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, that's just about the time we have for our show. We truly do appreciate you. I'd love to say thank you once more for watching, for streaming wherever you've done that around the world. Say thank you. But please do well to visit us. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.